Hello, everybody. It's the Raging Skeleton, and today I'll be ranking and talking about every Garfield show and movie ever created. Of course, I will start off saying that I will not count the comics. They would automatically be the best at Garfield. Now, time to start the television history of Garfield. Garfield and Friends is an American animated television series. The show was produced by Film Roman in association with the United Media in Season 1, United Media/Mendelsohn in Season 2 and 3, United Media/Lee Mendelsohn Productions in Seasons 4 through 6, and Lee Mendelsohn Productions in Season 7, and Paws Incorporated, and ran on CBS Saturday mornings from September 17th to 1988 to December 10th, 1994, with reruns airing until October 7th, 1995. 7 seasons of the series were produced. In addition to the cartoons featuring Garfield, the series also included cartoons featuring the characters from U.S. Anchors, a comic strip Davis was drawing concurrently with Garfield when Garfield and Friends premiered on television. Like the comic strip these were based on, the shorts were retitled Orson's Farm for viewers outside of the United States, taking the name of their main character, Orson Pig. Although Davis stopped drawing U.S. Orson's Farm 7 months after Garfield and Friends debuted, the characters continued to appear on the series until it ceased production. A total of 121 episodes were made, each consisting of 2 Garfield segments and 1 U.S. Anchor segment, totaling 242 Garfield segments and 121 U.S. Anchor segments. All episodes have been released in the U.S. on 5 DVD sets by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. The first season aired in a half-hour format. However, in the second season, it switched to an hour-length format, showing 2 episodes each week. In the last season, while the series was still an hour long, the second half hour of the show featured either an episode from the previous season or one of the Garfield TV specials. Some exclusive characters to the series include such: Binky the Clown, voiced by Tom Hughes, a loud, obnoxious clown who appeared a few times in the strip before becoming a regular on the show. Within the series, Binky has his own TV show that Garfield and Odie try to avoid watching. Binky sometimes has his own segment on the series called Screaming with Binky, that lasts the length of a quickie and runs at the midway point of an hour episode. Most of these segments were removed in syndication. Screaming with Binky segments were only aired in Seasons 2 and 3 of the show, and some were re-aired for a month after 8 weeks of Season 4 and 5 episodes. His catchphrase is "Hey kids," with an E and I prolonged, but to Garfield he yells "Hey cat," with a prolonged E. Binky is a recurring character for the first 3 seasons, but makes no further appearances beginning with Season 4, except for a brief cameo appearance in the Season 7 episode, The Feline Philosopher, where Binky throws pies and discusses how he used to be part of an act to Odie. There is also Cactus Jake, voiced by Pat Buttram, the foreman of the Polecat Flats Dude Ranch, and he behaves in the manner of an old-fashioned cowboy and often refuses to have anything to do with modern technology. He also has a massive extended family. His appearances include Polecat Flats, Cactus Jake Rides Again, Cactus Makes Perfect, How the West Was Lost, Urban Arbuckle, A Cactus Saga, and The Legend of Cactus Jupiter. The Buddy Bears, voiced by Greg Berger, Billy, Thom Hughes, Bobby, and Lorenzo Music, Bertie. Their names are Billy, Bobby, and Bertie. In the Garfield opera, they introduce themselves by their formal names, William, Robert, and Bertram. They are 3 talking bears who spew conformist propaganda in the form of song and dance. One of the quotes sings like this: "Oh, we're the Buddy Bears, we always get along. If you ever disagree, it means that you are wrong," etc. Their television show once replaced Binky's, and the Roy Rooster of U.S. Anchors has twice been stuck as the fall guy of their routines. The Buddy Bears are a satire of the Get Along Gang, the Care Bears, the Smurfs, and others 1980 cartoons focused on caring emotions, pleasant human interactions, harmony, and a general lack of plot or conflict. However, it is Garfield who tends to get the last laugh, at one point bringing an argument between the 3 bears over pizza toppings. Later in the series, there is a 4th female Buddy Bear, their sister Betty. The Orson Farm characters include Orson the Pig, a sheep, 2 ducks, and others that appeared. This never really stuck out to me as much as the other segments of the show, but it was still fun to watch some of the segments of Orson's Farm. One unique thing about this series is a small segment called the Quickie. A Quickie is a short joke that is used between segments. There's at least one Garfield or US Angers Quickie per episode. Most of the Quickies are based on a Sunday comic strip, and some on a daily comic strip. There are also a couple of Quickies called Screaming with Binky. According to one US Angers Quickie, they last 45 seconds, and most of these were cut out in syndication. I love these fun short bits as I found the comic like progressed in the Quickie. In syndication, the format was as follows: theme song, first Garfield cartoon, US Angers cartoon, second Garfield cartoon, Garfield Quickie, and the end credits. One admirable thing about the Garfield and Friends show is that it lasted longer than many other cartoons during its time, for a total of 6 years, which is pretty impressive. In all, the Garfield and Friends TV show is one of the best Garfield works in my opinion. Charming music, funny transitions, and lovable characters and voices made this show a true Garfield cartoon, worthy of comparison to Jim Davis and his comic series himself. Next, the second and last Garfield TV series, The Garfield Show, is now reviewed. The Garfield Show is a CGI animated television series. The series is executive produced by Garfield creator Jim Davis and co-written and voice directed by Mark Evener, who also wrote most of the episodes for the Garfield and Friends series. Returning from Garfield and Friends are the voice actors Julie Payne, Liz, and Greg Berger, Odie. Frank Welker replaces Lorenzo Music due to his death in 2001 as the voice of Garfield, and Wally Rigger replaces Tom Hughes due to his retirement that same year as the voice of John Arbuckle. Also returning is David Lander, reprising his role as Doc Boy from the earlier Garfield primetime special, A Garfield Christmas Special. The show is produced by Dargo Media and Pause Incorporated. You might recognize them from the Garfield and Friends TV show. The show is directed by Philip E. Vandal, and the music is composed by Laurent Bertaud and Jean-Christopher Prundo. The show features very loose continuity and is set in a different universe to the previous Garfield cartoon, Garfield Friends. However, the show sometimes makes references to the previous one, such as where they mention Binky the Clown, and Garfield said, "I heard we're not allowed to mention him in this show," which was a pretty good fourth wall break. Unlike in the previous cartoon, Liz is now considered a main character and has an official relationship with John to reflect their current status in the comic strip. The Garfield show also reestablishes Arlene as Garfield's potential love interest, as in the comic strip, replacing Penelope from the previous cartoon. Despite being touted as a main character, her actual role in the series is relatively minor. The Garfield show also features many new characters, just as they did back in Garfield Friends. New characters that are part of the regular cast, such as Vito, an Italian chef whose cooking Garfield enjoys, and Squeak, Garfield's mouse friend that lives in John's house. It replaces Floyd from the previous show. Unlike Garfield and Friends, the US Angers segments and characters are not present, which means no more pigs and no more farm stuff, which is a bit of a disappointment, although there are references to it here and there. The Garfield show is a CGI series that started development in 2007 to coincide with the strip's 30th anniversary the following year, premiering in France. In the United States, it aired on Cartoon Network from November 2nd, 2009 to May 30th, 2014. It also re-aired on Boomerang from February 4th, 2013 to December 30th, 2016, around the time when the last Garfield episode was made. It's also been reported that the Garfield show is on a hiatus, which is pretty much short for on a long break. It's been on a long break for a long time now, and I hope it comes back soon. In all, I found the Garfield show to be as charming as Garfield and Friends. The animation, however, did not entirely reflect on the style of Jim Davis and the comic strips, so I have to rank this show a little lower than Garfield and Friends, but the show overall is still clever and reflects Garfield's overall personality. Next, I will cover the cartoon specials. These include Here Comes Garfield, Garfield on the Town, Garfield in the Rough, Garfield's Halloween Adventure, Garfield in Paradise, Garfield Goes to Hollywood, A Garfield Christmas, Happy Birthday Garfield, Garfield His 9 Lives, Garfield's Babes and Bullets, Garfield's Thanksgiving, Garfield's Feline Fantasies, and Garfield Gets Alive. My favorite one out of these is the Christmas special, mainly because of its music numbers and its charming character interactions at Christmas, and Garfield's development throughout the special. Although they're all easily ranked together as good Garfield movies. My personal favorites include the Christmas special, Garfield's 9 Lives, and the Halloween special. Next up, Garfield the movie. Garfield the movie, also known as Garfield, is a 2004 live-action movie. In this movie, Garfield the cat was created with computer-generated imagery, although all other animals are real. The film was originally to be produced in 2D by 20th Century Fox Animation, but duties were transferred to Davis Entertainment and 20th Century Fox. The movie was directed by Peter Hewitt, produced by Davis Entertainment for 20th Century Fox, and stars Breckin Meyer as John Arbuckle, Jennifer Love Hewitt as Dr. Liz Wilson, and features Bill Murray as the voice of Garfield. The movie was released in the United States on June 11, 2004. Reviews of the movie were generally negative, although Murray's voice work received some positive notices. Another significant detail about this movie is that the Baha Men performed the song Holla for the film and its soundtrack. The music video premiered in early summer 2004 and featured clips from the film and gags showing obvious references to the Garfield franchise, such as the lasagna joke. The movie was released with huge backlash from many critics. The movie received a 24% rating at Rotten Tomatoes. It currently has 15% with an average rating of 3.5 out of 10 on IMDb. The film's rating is 5 out of 10. In my opinion, I don't know what kind of stuff they were on during this movie, but they must have been high. This movie is a mess, and the only thing I like about it is Garfield's voice work by Bill Murray. I can see why this movie hadn't been the greatest, which would be because Jim Davis didn't have much influence of the movie. I rank this movie with a very low, as I think it is very bad and not a good interpretation of Garfield other than his voice acting. I score all the other Garfield movies with an average score. They aren't too major and didn't really appeal to me or many others. The movies include Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, which is another live-action one, Garfield Gets Real, which actually started some of the non-real compared to non-real, but still had some in it, Garfield's Fun Fest, and Garfield's Pet Force. I do give more of a nod to Garfield's Pet Force as a nostalgic look Jim Davis' series Garfield books written as Pet Force, and when Garfield threatens John with a gun in that movie. In ranking total, I would have to give Garfield and Friends the #1 spot, with its specials such as the Garfield Christmas special and Garfield's 9 Lives in second, the Garfield Show, which was the CGI animated one, in third, Garfield's Pet Force in fourth, Tale of Two Kitties, Garfield Gets Real, and Garfield's Fun Fest in fifth, and Garfield the movie in dead last, mainly because of its poor contrast to animated and real. I hope you enjoyed my discussion on the Garfield animated work. Jim Davis does a really good job, huh? I hope to do more discussion videos in the future. It's the Raging Skeleton, signing off.